listening to The 5 and 5, the podcast that proves visibility is the key to leadership. I'm Star Clinton, and growing up as a child of a deaf adult has taught me that true leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about being seen, heard, and creating bridges for others. In the next 5 minutes, you'll get 5 actionable strategies to step into your next level of visibility leadership. Ready? Let's go. Let me tell you about a moment at Starbucks that perfectly illustrates the hidden cost of businesses that don't realize they're creating. I was there with my mother who was deaf. I ordered her a drink and I waited there like any other customer. When her order was ready, they called her name, but of course, she couldn't hear it. They conducted business as normal and calling everyone's name completely unaware of the gap in their system. Now, I could have gotten frustrated, but I knew that the negative reaction don't create change. Instead, I calmly approached the manager and introduced myself as a nonprofit leader who focuses on bridging the gap between the deaf and the hearing community. I explained that I was there with my mom, who was deaf, and if she had been here by herself, she would have never known that her name was called. So think about the hidden cost she would have to go find someone to help her, or she was frustrated with the wait time, or potentially having to leave with a negative experience. So I offered to form a partnership that can help train their staff and host a sip and sign. And this event would bring more focus and awareness to accessibility. The manager loved the idea, but here's what struck me. Until that moment, they had no idea that they were potentially losing a deaf customer every single day through this simple system gap. Now, this taught me that most businesses are intentionally ignoring deaf customers. They just don't realize the hidden cost of their current system. And here's how you can identify and eliminate these costly gaps in your organization. First up, tip number 1, calculate your lost transaction value. Every time a deaf customer can't complete a purchase because of communication barriers, you're losing immediate revenue. Multiply your average transaction value by the number of potential deaf customers who visit your business. With 38 million Americans having hearing loss, even a small percentage of lost sales, it adds up to massive revenue hemorrhage that you're possibly not tracking. So let's move on to number 2. Factor a negative word of mouth multiplier. The deaf community is a tight-knit, and negative experience spread quickly through social networks, even deaf organizations and online communities. One poor interaction can cost you dozens of potential customers who will actively avoid your business based on the community recommendations. Ready to transform your leadership approach to accessibility? Join me at the Visible Leader Workshop, where I will teach you my signature method and discover how to build confidence and visibility while creating a truly inclusive environment. Don't wait. Your next level of impact is waiting. Register now. And tip number 3, account for lost employees' productivity and retention. If you have deaf employees struggling with communication barriers, you're losing productivity, creativity, and retention. The cost of replacing employees ranges from 50% to 200% of their annual salary. When deaf talent leaves because of accessibility barriers, you're not just losing their skills. You're paying massive replacement costs, while competitors who embrace deaf talent gain your former employees. Tip number 4, measure the legal and compliance risk costs. Ignoring deaf customers can create legal liability that goes far beyond potential lawsuits. You're risking compliance violations, negative publicity, and scrutiny that could cost far more than proactive accessibility investments. The average ADA lawsuit settlement ranges from $10,000 to $75,000, not including legal fees and reputation damage. And finally, tip number 5, quantify your competitive disadvantage costs. While you're losing deaf customers, your competitors who embrace accessibility are gaining market share, positive publicity, and brand loyalty. You're not just missing revenue, you're funding your competition's growth. Every deaf customer who chooses an accessible competitor represents lost lifetime value that compounds over time. So remember, visibility isn't about ego, it's about impact. And when you ignore deaf customers, you're not just missing opportunity, you're actively losing money in ways that damage your bottom line and competitive position. If you're ready to step into your next visibility leadership and stop these hidden costs from draining your profits, join me at the Visible Leader Workshop. The link will be in the show notes. I'm Star Clinton. I'll see you next Friday for another 5 and 5. Until then, show it before you feel ready. Every day you wait is another day of a hidden cost adding up.